True, true, true. Because the next thing that I want to ask you guys is about is, as I mentioned earlier, I first became aware of the both of you and Imperfect Pictures because of Imperfect Sky when it was submitted to my film festival, the Philadelphia Independent Film Awards. That was an amazing film, and it dealt with some very truthful and sometimes very uncomfortable topics such as homelessness and also drug addiction. So, Graham, I take it you wrote that.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the 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 reason for you writing that particular film at that time? Because it's something that we all knew about, but it wasn't something that was widely being talked about. The fact that you had young people, from a broken home having to live on the streets, and then the young man having to do what he had to do to take care of his younger brother, but also being a heroin addict.
I think we were just kind of on the back end of a huge heroin problem across the country that was stemmed from opioid addictions, which is prescribed medication, that whole thing, and which is still, we're still in the news on that today as we
Yes.
speak. The family, actually has no legal penalties from this whole deal. So it was big enough to be an issue that I felt like it would be something that we could talk about for years to come, that it wouldn't go away right away, that it would have leg as far as the purpose for a film. And yet we always, when we do a subject, we want to take it to a different level. It can't be a documentary. It can't be, soapbox, and we can't be shoving ideas down people's throats. But how can we get into the world of heroin addiction in a way that makes that is comfortable and familiar to an audience, a friendly way to get in, or a way that's a backdoor entrance that we don't know that we're in that issue perhaps until we're too deep in the story to realize, and then we're stuck in that world. So somehow, how do we get people to the level where they really kind of feel the gravity of the heroin addiction? And then also, I think one of our goals in this piece was to not make the heroin addict an evil. I mean, rotten to the core, because heroin does the most horrible things to anyone's choices. But under that, it was a human being who's crying for help. So it was important that we hit that topic, that we hit it raw and hard, and it was like we wanted to make sure that it was uncomfortable.